Hopefully you reviewed the first part of the homework on your own to review quadrants for different trig functions, solving equations, and the exact value of trig functions and inverse trig functions. And now we're going to put all of that information together in order to solve trig equations. So it says find the value of theta in the interval 0 to theta to 360 degrees. So right now we're in degrees. We will do some that are in radians, but for right now, as we're starting out, we're going to do degrees. If this particular question was 2x equals 1, we would just divide by 2. So nothing changes here because there's a cosine. I am going to divide both sides by 2. And we get cosine theta equals 1/2. So now I need to use the inverse function, or arc cosine. I also need to identify my quadrants. Cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. So when you identify your reference angle using the arc function or the inverse function, you are then going to take that reference angle and find it in whatever quadrants are appropriate given the question. So my reference angle is equal to arc cosine of 1/2. Or you ask yourself, where is cosine equal to 1/2? And hopefully you know that cosine is equal to 1/2 at pi over 3 or 60 degrees. So now theta is going to be in quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. So 60 degrees, my reference angle is always the quadrant 1 angle, so I have 60 degrees. And in quadrant 4, a reference angle of 60 degrees is 300 degrees. So those are my two values for this function or this equation. Number 7, if you need to on the side, set it up again. If this said negative 4x plus 5 equals 7, what would you do? So we're going to start by subtracting 5 on both sides. We get negative 4 sine theta equals 2. Divide by negative 4 on both sides. Sine theta is equal to negative 1/2. So now I need to know where is sine negative. Sine is negative in quadrant 3 and 4. My reference angle is going to be arc sine of 1/2. So where is sine equal to 1/2? Hopefully you know it's pi over 6 or 30 degrees. So my reference angle is 30 degrees in quadrant 3. That's 210 degrees. And in quadrant 4, that's 330 degrees. So those are my two values for theta. This one has cosecant. So remember, if you need to, if this said 4x plus 2 equals x plus 14, you would start by distributing. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I have 4 cosecant theta plus 8 equals cosecant theta plus 14. I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. 4 cosecant theta equals cosecant theta plus 6. I'm going to subtract cosecant theta on both sides because I want to group all of my trig functions together. So I have 3 cosecant theta equals 6. Divide both sides by 3. Cosecant theta equals 2. So we don't work with our reciprocal functions typically, so I'm going to turn this into its reciprocal. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So that means if cosecant theta is equal to 2, then sine theta is equal to 1/2. Sine is positive in quadrants 1 and 2, and my reference angle is going to be equal to arc sine of 1/2. Where is sine equal to 1/2? 30 degrees. We just did that in the last question. So you need to know your chart again. So in quadrant 1, it's just my reference angle, and in quadrant 2, it's 150 degrees. And then the last one